My body was not coping. I was projectile vomiting everywhere.
The proportions were so unrealistic. I couldn't fit into any of my clothing.
I spent $15,000 on a new ass, not realizing it was about to be my downfall.
I was heavily influenced by the BBL era. The Kim K booty, I thought they looked incredible. So I thought that's what I needed to look and feel my best again. I wasn't thinking straight at that point.
I actually regret getting my BBL sometimes. I got a BBL back in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic. And the reason why I say I hate it sometimes is because the way that it's shaped, is a little, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, like, the body still be a little T a little bit, but in certain stuff, it's giving real boxy. And I don't know. Like, I guess this is for, like, most people anyways. Like, it ain't even just people with BBLs. Like, if you just have a certain shape, certain things you're just not gonna look good in, you know. And then, like, my expectation, like, I don't know exactly what I expected myself to look like. Like, I wasn't even shaped like what I thought I was gonna look like. Not only that, but like the weight gain, like when you get your body done and you realize that like you really you start doing certain things, thinking, drinking and eating certain things that you feel like you couldn't have done before because your body already where you needed to be. But it catches up with you, and it catches up with you fast. After a year, like, I was over 200 pounds. No, I'm dragging it. I wasn't 200 pounds. I was probably like 185, but that's close enough to me. I don't know. I feel like I can get more into detail, but those are just some of the reasons.
I would 100% go back and not get the BBL. I know it's a complication that you don't usually happen. This isn't worth it. I had asked my husband to get the walker because I can't even walk on my feet without hurting and wanting to fall. I came home from getting my massage today, and we only have 3 little stairs going up into the porch. I couldn't make the last one, and I fell. Luckily, I cut myself, but then I hurt myself because I had to catch myself. The pain has gotten worse, and now my legs are on fire up to my knees. They shake all the time because it hurts. I just think it's important for me to show this side. It's nothing the doctor did wrong. It's just, I mean, they're shoving fat in your butt with all these nerves there. I would do the tummy tuck and the boob job again because I am having no problems with that. 0 out of 10. No pain. I should have just dealt with having a small booty and worked harder in the gym when I got back and fed it and built it the right way. The pain is a good 7 out of 10.
Remember when the BBL craze took over the internet? Everywhere you looked, Instagram, TikTok, celebrities, everyone had the same look. Tiny waist, oversized hips, and the pressure to fit the trend was insane. Most women who got BBLs were barely in their early 20s. They jumped on the bandwagon because it felt like everyone else was doing it. It wasn't about confidence, it was about keeping up. But now, the trend is dying. The BBL look isn't cool anymore. Influencers are reversing them. Celebrities are quietly removing them. And the women who followed the trend? Many of them are left with regret. Some can't sit for long without pain. Some deal with uneven shapes, scarring, nerve damage, and long-term health issues they never saw coming. And the saddest part? No one warned them. No one talked about the risks. It was all aesthetics and filters until real life hit. Now thousands of women are saying the same thing. I wish I never did it. The trend changed. But their bodies? They're the ones paying the price.
I've had over 15 plastic surgeries, and the single surgery I absolutely regret is my BBL. I rarely talk about my BBL because Low-key, I'm so embarrassed. It was a surgery I did not need, and I did it out of being desperate, out of the lowest point in my life in terms of health. I had 2 rounds of BBL over 7 years ago, and I was very overweight at that time, which caused confidence issues. I was originally planning on a lipo 360, so just liposuction in the midsection, but I was heavily influenced by the BBL era. The Kim K booty, I thought they looked incredible, so I thought that's what I needed to look and feel my best again. I wasn't thinking straight at that point. I was being lazy. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't want to change my diet and become healthy. I wanted to cheat and take the easy way by doing surgery. The first round didn't really do anything because it was an awake BBL. With an awake lipo, the surgeon cannot remove a lot of fat. So I decided to get a second round with a different surgeon where I was put under general. Both surgeons are great surgeons and they delivered the best results they could. The problem was me. After my second BBL, which was a massive change, at first I didn't know what to think because it was such a big difference. I was just trying to get used to this new body and proportions, but it quickly turned into something that I hated. The proportions were so unrealistic. I couldn't fit into any of my clothing. I could only wear leggings, loose joggers. I found a surgeon in New York City, had him remove as much fat as he could without causing excessive laxity. As I recovered, my butt was uneven. One side was flatter and saggier. The other side was fuller. I'm still correcting my BBL because I need to tighten the skin, lift the booty, and still trying to minimize my butt. I've tried all the radio frequencies, so Renuvion, Temperature, True Sculpt, ID, New Era, Morpheus, anything that could shrink the booty, tighten the skin without surgery. I lost a significant amount of weight by exercising and changing my diet. I've been gradually lifting heavier to build more hamstrings and glute muscles to lift my entire backside.
Getting a BBL ruined my life. So I was a teenager in the 2010s when Instagram was new and like the it girls were Instagram models and all these girls started getting BBLs. The bigger your ass was, the more successful you were gonna be. I saw Kylie Jenner do it and I was like, oh my god, I need that. And I grew up watching like Kim K's butt like triple in size every year and I was like, I need to be her. All the men want her. The reason I'm not getting a boyfriend is because I don't have her butt. So when I got my money up in the 2020s, I spent $15,000 on a new ass, not realizing it was about to be my downfall. BBLs were straight up a trend. My life completely fell apart after I got one. First of all, I only fit in Fashion Nova. I could not fit in any nice, expensive clothes. Designer clothes, Aritzia, all the cute, clean girl clothes, they're meant for skinny girls. I could not get my butt into a pair of jeans for 2 years. I gained 30 pounds after my BBL. I was the heaviest I have ever been in my life. Because when you get a BBL, you can't gain like stomach fat anymore. And I didn't even realize I was gaining weight because it was all going to my butt. And then I woke up one day morbidly obese. I think what made me realize was my face got so fat. But that's not even the worst part. The way men treated me was so horrifying. I only attracted the broke, drug addicted, abusive losers. I did not attract anyone who was boyfriend material at all. Because my body was so over-sexualized, you know what I'm saying? And the way I was forced to dress having a BBL, because you can't wear anything baggy and cute when you have a BBL, otherwise you look fat. You have to wear like skin-tight clothes and be half naked 24/7. Rich, sweet, classy, nice men aren't attracted to that when they see that walk into a bar or walk down the street. I had homeless people catcalling me and chasing me around. I would not get respect when I would walk into like Saks Fifth Avenue or designer store. Before I got like all my work done, people used to tell me I was pretty. My Uber driver would say, oh, you're so pretty. Random girls would tell me I was pretty. That completely stopped. It all stopped. And I got so depressed. I realized something had to change. So I got on Ozempic. I lost 30 pounds and like now can fit in like classier clothing and cover my body without looking like a cow. I stopped getting lip filler. I stopped dyeing my hair bleach blonde. I shrunk my butt to now if you saw me walking down the street, you would not think it was fake. I am treated so much better. I walk into a Chanel store and they actually walk up to me and help me shop. I am no longer getting sexually harassed everywhere I go. I have a really hot boyfriend. And people in general just started being nicer to me again. I'm rich because I do OnlyFans. But if you saw me walking down the street, you would never look at that girl and be like, oh, that's an OnlyFans model. She doesn't deserve my respect. You would just think I was a regular rich girl living her little New York City life. And life is so much better this way. So if you think you need plastic surgery, you definitely don't. You do not need to go get that lip filler. You don't need a new butt and you don't need a new boobs. My boobs got so botched, now they're permanently scarred because of my boob jobs, and I will go into that in a different TikTok. And now I have to live with that mistake for the rest of my life. So just take it from me, who's already made the mistakes. Don't touch yourself.
So if there's one surgery that I could not have, rewind time and not have, would definitely be a BBL. I wasn't even booked in to have a BBL. I was booked in to have liposuction, and then I was like, do you want to stick that? Don't get rid of it. Stick that in my butt cheeks. I did ask for a natural bump. I said I don't want anybody to notice that I've had it done. And after surgery, I'd put about a stone on. So they don't tell you. Like the fat don't then go to the places you've had lipo. It then goes to your ass. So it just got bigger and bigger. So I had to lose a stone. So my bum did not look big, really. I think it's in more proportion now because I've lost a stone. But still, yeah, they don't tell you after you had BBL, you're not in control of it, so you don't know how big it's going to be. And if you put weight on, it just goes straight there. It fluffs the first year anyway, regardless if you put weight on or not, it fluffs. So they'll put it in, it feels firm, and then it fluffs, which I just mean, it's a term they call it gets bigger. So yeah, in a few years, I'm going to have it taken out because my next big birthday is 50. I don't really walking around wearing a pair of leggings and everyone's like staring at your ass. It's just not a vibe I'm going for. And I don't like being looked at anyway. Not looked at, that sounds wrong, but I don't like people staring at you. It gives me anxiety. So yeah, but thank God I'm in my baggy clothes era. I'm in my little boy era. Sometimes I like to get dressed up and wear something, a little skimpy number, but very rarely.
Let me tell you about my biggest regret as a young adult. So my biggest regret as a young adult would have to be my BBL. So let's talk about it. I made the rash decision at the good age of 19 to get my body done. I had been seeing a bunch of Instagram models and I already felt like, my body was shaped funny. I had a square build with big boobs. And I didn't like it. So I started saving up my money. I didn't have any responsibilities. I only had a car payment and a phone bill. So it didn't take me too long. I put my booty on a payment plan. That's how you know it was a rash decision. The first year that I had it, I was obsessed. Nobody could tell me nothing. I loved it. And guess what happened to me? I got pregnant. So I gained weight. And what they don't tell you is, when you gain weight, you could become a little disproportionate. During and after my pregnancy, my badonk grew and it wouldn't stop. It was laughable. And then after I had my son, obviously still big, it didn't go down. Everything but the booty went down. Rightfully so, I was upset. So I lost 30 pounds. I thought, okay, well, if it looked normal before, I can get it back to where it was if I just lose some weight. No, you now have stomach fat in your hips and booty. So guess what that means? It grows and acts like stomach fat. So I lost 30 pounds. And did it go down drastically? Yes. Does it look better? Yes. But it still looks funky. It is the last thing to go. I might be able to do 5, 10 more pounds, but then I'm risking losing weight in my legs and just, it's still looking disproportionate. Our bodies are not trends. Do not fall for that trap. Not just a BBL, but anything that alters you. To take a second to research, to rethink, give it 5 months, 6 months, sit on it and think, and if you still really just want to have it, maybe then go for it. Because what a lot of people don't understand is a BBL has got to be maintained, because it can go from looking real good to real off, with or without a child if you gain weight. So now I will forever be battling with this thing. If I gain weight, if I lose weight, it doesn't matter. So all I can do right now is focus on building my legs to try to get it to match. Don't be like me. And I know you guys are probably wanting to see my panties before anybody says anything, but I have overhang. It used to just kind of be like bumpy, which it was like that before I had surgery, so it didn't bother me, but now that it kind of hangs off, I don't fuck with it. And then yeah, it's Ant's life, because it don't match. So if you're thinking about seeing me in public and posting me to these BBLs killing y'all, I already know. You don't have to do that. I know it looks bad. I know it does.
So what I wanted to talk to you about today is BBLs and my thoughts on getting a BBL, because I had two. So yeah, back in 2019, I had my first BBL. Went there to Turkey, had a BBL, had it done, whatever, woke up, was happy, and everything turned out great, because I didn't have no ass. Literally my back and my ass was one, like an iPad, you know. So yeah, I did it, and it turned out great. I loved it, whatever, because my fat was always in my stomach area and in my back area, and my legs were kind of small always. So yeah, so I did that. And then in 2021, I did another BBL because I wanted more, I wanted bigger, I wanted more hips, and I had a second BBL. But this BBL turned out being like too much. Like, to be honest, as I said, my legs are pretty skinny, so my ass I looked like an ant, to be honest. Like in the first couple of months, because the fat also goes like away a little bit, I looked like an ant. I didn't like it. Even people would like turn around and ask me if I had a BBL. This is not the whole point, you know. So I was not feeling it anymore. Like in the first few months, I was kind of happy, you know, because I didn't see until people like would tell me or ask me even if I had it done. So that's when I realized, okay, you can see it. So yeah. And then I started like thinking about it and stuff, and at that point I was kind of regretting it, like the second one. I started to be like, yeah, I want to be more natural, whatever, you know. I want to look more skinny, and some clothes I wouldn't wear anymore because it would be like too much for me, just, you know. And yeah, that's on the BBL. So now I'm 32, and sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, what if I didn't have done it before? Like, what if I didn't do it? Because now I have a baby and stuff, and my body would have probably changed also with having a baby. Like, maybe, yeah. It's not that I wake up and I cry or something, but it's sometimes I'm just like, what would my body look like, you know? So yeah, that's my thoughts on BBL. So if you are planning or you're thinking about getting a BBL, I mean, it depends on how your aesthetics are. Like, if you really like this Coca-Cola bottle, whatever type of aesthetics, get it. But personally, me, I would not do it again.
For years, society told women they needed a big butt to be beautiful. It became a competition. Who could get the smallest waist and the biggest curves? And surgeons made billions off young women who just wanted to fit in. But fast forward to today, and something big is happening. Women are over the BBL trend. Not because they don't like curves, but because they're tired of living with the consequences no one warned them about. Some developed chronic back pain. Some can't work out the same. Some deal with infections, sagging, migration of fat, and complications that show up years later. And now, in their late 20s or early 30s, many are saying, "I made a mistake." The bodies they changed in a moment are the same bodies they're fighting to fix now. What used to be the perfect body is now something many women are desperately trying to reverse. The trend moved on flat stomachs, natural looks, slim silhouettes, but their decision stayed. This isn't just about beauty trends. It's about real people, real pain, and a lesson that keeps repeating. When the internet moves on, your body doesn't.
Get ready with me while I tell you about my horrific BBL story. So I've had 2 BBLs. For my first BBL, I did not have much money. I hadn't been doing OF for very long, and I had been hearing about these girls going to Turkey and getting them done for like half the price. So that's what I did. I found a clinic. They were easy to talk to and had good reviews. Like, the reviews were all excellent, which looking back is probably a red flag. And they were like one of those package deal places. Surgery, accommodation for 2 weeks was like all included in the price. So I arrived to the place and like their driver picks me up. We go to the hospital to meet the surgeon and the surgeon's not there. Searching for this guy for like an hour, and then so we end up going to the clinic and see if he's there. He's not there. It's a whole mess. And keep in mind that there's like a language barrier. The guy can barely speak English. So I really don't know what's going on. After like 4 hours, we find this guy. We start talking about what I want, like what my goals are. He immediately shuts me down and says like I don't have enough fat for the surgery. I gained like 10 kilos for their surgery. I know that I had enough fat. It was almost like he was setting me up for low expectations early on so I didn't get disappointed. Anyway, surgery day comes along. Like, in the operating room, I kid you not, it was like everyone's worst nightmare. I was on the operating table getting surgery and I could literally feel everything. Basically, when you get lipo done for a BBL, they have this rod and they like stick it in you and it sucks out all the fat. I could literally feel that sucking the fat out of me. It was like this burning, the most excruciating pain I've felt ever. And I was paralyzed. I could not move. All I could feel is the like tears streaming down my face. Obviously it didn't give me enough sedation because I felt everything and then I remembered everything after. I could literally hear them like gossiping while they were doing surgery on me. Where I must have passed out like from the pain or something, because the next thing I remember is waking up and knowing that something was not right. Woke up freezing cold, like my body was literally vibrating. I know theater rooms are cold, but I have had a few surgeries and I've never woken up like that. My body was not coping. I was projectile vomiting everywhere. I woke up lying on my butt, which like when you get a BBL, you're not meant to put any pressure on it for 6 weeks. Otherwise the fat cells will die. I was trying to tell the nurses, but they were like, no, it's fine. Like, this is how we do it. I was just stressing out thinking I've just paid all this money and now I'm getting ruined by sitting on my butt. So I always completely forget about this part because of just the trauma of the whole thing. But as I was getting discharged, a male nurse literally gropes me while he's trying to dress me. This is like the next day after surgery, so I am like out of it. Luckily, like a female nurse walks in and he stops. He had to escort me to my car and he literally did it again in the elevator. I completely blocked this out of my memory until like 3 months after the surgery. Get to the hotel and the next day you have to do like these lymphatic massages. Go to take my garments off, like you have to wear these compression garments. I go to take them off and like my body literally looks the same. Like, I still have my hip dips, I still had the fat. They just keep telling me like, oh, it's a swelling and you won't see the result until like blah blah blah. And I was kind of thinking to myself like, maybe they're right, you know, like I am not the expert. So I fly home literally first class because I don't want to lie on my butt. Even after the surgeon told me I could, I still didn't because I didn't want to affect my results. I was eating right. I was doing everything perfect. Within 2 months, like the fat that was transferred had gone. I later find out from my next surgeon, like if the fat isn't purified properly when it's taken out, it will die. So I see my next surgeon about a year later for a second BBL. And he told me that they had just taken chunks out of my back. Like, it was so uneven. He could not believe that I woke up lying on my butt. I meant to wake up face down after the surgery. A lot of clinics from Turkey actually steal his photos. But I love my results now. Shout out to Kim. But please don't ever go to Turkey and get a BBL. I don't care how good the clinic looks. It's just not worth it. I'm actually thinking about making my hair darker tomorrow. What do you think?
I originally got the surgery because I wanted a shape. Not because I wanted a big butt or whatever. I wanted the shape that it creates because I was just like a straight down stick. I just wanted a shape. So that's why I got the BBL. But body dysmorphia is real because after I got the BBL, I kept finding other things, like little things that I did not like. And I kept telling myself, oh, I'm gonna get around too. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. But I decided I wasn't gonna do nothing else. I'm gonna just live with the body I have and accept it and love it. Because I'm just doing too much, wasting money. I can do other things with that money. So, but the real reason I regret my BBL is because I cannot sleep. I started getting these problems maybe like 2 years after I got the BBL. I can't sleep on my sides, right or left. I can't sleep on my back, and I can't sleep on my stomach. If I spend maybe 30 plus minutes on either side, it hurts. I literally do not get sleep at night because I'm always tossing and turning because I feel so much pressure. I don't have any health issues or anything. I'm very healthy for the most part. But that pressure where the fat was injected is horrible. I hate it. I don't sleep. And that's why I regret it. Because I do not sleep. So, yeah, do what you want with your body. I'm not promoting or telling you to get a BBL, and I'm not telling you not to. That's just my experience. Like, I don't get no sleep because I'm always tossing and turning because I'm in pain. If I stay on my back, on my stomach, on my side for too long, I actually have to use like a pregnancy pillow to sleep. I don't know, but I gotta go.
Bitch, sometimes I regret my BBL, and don't get me wrong, I love a fat ass, bitch. I love a big fat ass that jiggles when it walks. I love it. But the trend is now skinny. Itty mini tiny, okay? And I want to hop on that, bitch. I love an itty mini tiny queen. Like, everything looks so classy and elegant, you know what I mean? So now, bitch, I'm running at the gym. I'm eating salads, and I look at my ass, and I'm just like, this shit is humongous. And, like, sometimes no one talks to you about, like, how embarrassing it is having a BBL, bitch, because you're walking around, and, like, your ass is fat, you know what I mean? So people are just like, whether they're like, what the fuck, or what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, people are looking. Like, you catch people looking all the time, and it's, like, embarrassing. So you just end up, like, I don't know, just kind of embarrassed to have one. Which, okay, I still love it, and I'm still gonna be itty mini tiny with a fat ol' ass. But I'm just saying, like, just think twice. I'm just rambling, but just think twice, bitch, if you want to get a BBL. Because, like, it's there, bitch. It's there, and it's, like, unless you're getting it liposuctioned out, which I guess you can do, working it off is... it's a hard job. It is.
My BBL regrets is asking for the natural look. Okay, now that I have my BBL, I'm like, damn, I honestly wanted, I think I did want to look operada. Like, I wanted somebody to look at me and be like, oh, ya está bien operada. That's what I wanted, now that I think of it. But long story short, I show my doctor pictures, and it's just your sign to be very specific to what you want. Like very, I know some girls are like that. Me, I like booked my BBL like super last minute, like a week before. I just found pictures of girls on like Instagram and be like, oh, I like how she looks, and I didn't really tell him like, oh, I want my butt to be like this, I want this to be like this. I just showed him a picture, and he's like, bet, let me get that done. And he basically just did it, you know? That's just how it worked. I remember the day of my surgery, he came in with like his, like, I think assistant surgeon, and they marked me up, and I showed him the pictures, and he's like, that's not very natural. And I was like, okay, then maybe more natural than this. He tried to understand me, but he also, I think it was obvious I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. Honestly, I do like my results, like, I'm good with them, but right now I am wearing a faja. Keep that in mind. Like, right now my butt is lifted because of the faja, my waist looks tiny because of the faja, but when I'm not wearing it, like, I think I can really go out and about, and people would be like, oh, she just goes to the gym probably, like, you know, like, she just, like, fit, you know, which is fine, but I might want to book around too, you know, a little extra.